Stepping into the shoes of a princess comes with a dazzling tiara, Prince Charming, and an endless rulebook. Yes, there's a protocol for everything Catherine does, from the way she holds her teacup to how she interacts with her husband. Take a recent event, for example, which shows perfectly the limits of royal protocol. During Catherine's visit to the Chelsea Flower Show for the inaugural children's picnic in London, one of the young attendees asked for an autograph. Yet, to the child's disappointment, the princess turned down the simple request. Kate clarified that her refusal wasn't personal. She's just not allowed to write her signature. Kate added that it is one of those rules, hinting at strict royal protocol. However, Kate managed to outwit the royal rule. She revealed that while she isn't permitted to write her autograph, she is allowed to draw. And so she delighted the child with a quick sketch. The princess somehow always manages to find a solution and innovative way to both please the public and respect the rules. This brings us to another example of royal protocol, the ban on photos with fans. Even though it's against the rules, the Princess of Wales often connects with the crowd by showing up in their selfies. Maybe she wants to show that some rules are outdated and require a modern review. Being a princess certainly involves more than just interacting with the public. Catherine has a rule for every move. Take, for instance, the art of sitting. Eagle-eyed fans already know that Kate has to sit in one position no matter what. Her knees and ankles are always tightly together, slanting her legs to the side, and her chin remains parallel to the ground. The princess never uses armrests. Instead, she is expected to keep her hands elegantly poised on her knees. Maintaining this posture for hours on end can be a royal pain, quite literally. However, that's not all. There is a strict dress code for every occasion. It requires dresses or skirts that modestly cover the knees for official events, strictly combined with nude tights and high heels. There have been times, however, when Catherine's chosen style has slightly defied the knee-covering rule, and sometimes she ignores the skirt rule completely. The princess loves incorporating pantsuits into her style. She also occasionally breaks the heels rule by wearing espadrilles, flat sandals, or even sneakers. But one rule she has absolutely aced is the hat protocol. Whether it's a state banquet or a horse race, every formal event calls for a hat, and trust us, Her Royal Highness knows how to pick the perfect one every single time. Speaking of formalities, Kate has a certain protocol even for her interactions with Prince William. Not only is she supposed to keep her distance from her husband while on duty, the royal couple must also refrain from hugging, holding hands, or even touching each other's arms or backs. They are to maintain a certain royal distance, especially when they're representing the crown abroad. It must be hard for the princess to limit her PDAs all the time. Last summer, Catherine supported William at his polo match. When the prince won a trophy, the couple couldn't resist sharing a kiss. Or how about that sweet moment from the premiere of James Bond's No Time to Die? That evening was filled with undeniable romantic sparks. And who could forget the BAFTA event earlier this year when the cameras caught Kate playfully tapping William's butt? You might think that Kate gets to relax the rules a bit once she steps out of the spotlight. Well, not exactly. Private gatherings inside Buckingham Palace also come with their own set of protocols. For example, there is always a plan for the seating of guests. And Catherine doesn't get to sit next to her husband. Instead, she is assigned to engage with specific guests, sharing conversation and toasts throughout the evening. Well, it is an official event that royals take on as their job. However, even holidays don't offer a break from these strict rules. Before tying the knot with William, Kate couldn't join him for trips to Sandringham, where the royals traditionally celebrate Christmas holidays, and they dated for almost a decade. But royal rules state that only family members can be part of these traditional Christmas week gatherings. But when Kate started representing the crown, it meant leaving her own family behind for holidays. As non-royals, her parents and siblings can't join the celebrations with the monarch, and Kate, with a packed schedule of events, couldn't visit them either. But in 2012, the then Duke and Duchess of Cambridge broke the tradition and went to the Middletons' house in Bucklebury on Christmas Eve. The princess probably wanted to just relax and enjoy a holiday meal without thinking about an endless list of rules. For example, the 4 bites requirement. Kate can only take 4 small bites of a meal before she must take a break from eating, thus ensuring that she's always ready to engage in conversation with senior royals. After all, it wouldn't be very regal to answer a king's question with a mouthful of food. However, drinking tea has its rules too, from how to hold her teacup to stirring in milk or sugar without making a single clink. Kate's tea etiquette is a performance in itself. Have you heard the rule that the monarch dictates the rhythm of a meal? No one can start eating before the king does, and once he finishes, it's time for everyone to put down their knives and forks too. All these strict regulations add a little tension to even the most casual of royal celebrations, but that's not all. Stepping into the royal family also meant Kate had to adjust her vocabulary. She has to sound like true aristocracy and forget some simple everyday phrases. Common words such as smell and toilet are basically considered curse words. Instead of perfume, Catherine uses scents to sound more elegant. She never invites close people for tea, but offers them supper. During the meal, the princess isn't allowed to discuss portions and can't ask for dessert. Kate has rules on how to talk not only with the senior royals, but also with her own children. First of all, she can't call them kids, as that would neglect their personalities. And like any modern caring parent, raising her voice at her children is off the table. But here's the royal twist. Kate isn't even allowed to tell them to calm down during a tantrum. Instead, she must gently explain appropriate behaviour. Needless to say, the princess is a pro at this. When Prince George misbehaved at Kate's sister's wedding, she solved the problem in a few minutes with a short talk. Remember how Catherine stopped Princess Charlotte's protest at the airport and distracted Prince Louis from his antics? But the royal expectations didn't only start when her children were born. Kate had to follow certain protocols while she was still pregnant. Royal women are expected to keep their pregnancies under wraps until the 12-week mark and, of course, maintain their usual schedule of public engagements and charity events. For Kate, this was particularly challenging. The princess shared that she was not the happiest of pregnant people, as she struggled with severe sickness at the beginning of all 3 of her pregnancies. When Kate was carrying her first child, Prince George, she was even hospitalised due to complications. So the family broke royal protocol and announced her pregnancy earlier to give Her Royal Highness some much-needed rest. Although Kate did comply perfectly with one pregnancy rule, royal protocol dictates that the gender of a royal baby remains a mystery until birth. So each child was a big surprise for the royals and the public. This makes sense, as the royals have a protocol about what Princess Catherine can and can't share in public. Kate can't divulge details about her personal relationships with other family members, her bond with Prince William, or insights into their marriage. Even discussing parenting challenges is typically off-limits. Yet in a refreshing departure from tradition, Kate made a candid appearance on the British podcast Happy Mum, Happy Baby in 2020. She talked freely about the problems she had during her pregnancies and her experiences as a mother, especially with her firstborn child.
It's slightly terrifying, I'm not going to lie. And I totally underestimated the impact and the change it had on our lives from that moment. You don't realise no amount of planning and preparation can get you ready for that moment.
Technically, by making such revelations, Catherine broke royal protocol, but her honesty and openness struck a chord with a lot of people. It gave publicity to the support new mums need and started important conversations. So it appears that our Princess of Wales knows when to stick to the rules and when to bend them for the greater good. Whether it's hugging her adoring fans or championing important issues, Kate leads with kindness and innovation. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Which royal rule do you find the strangest? And which one would you like to see Kate change? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe for more intriguing insights into the British royal family.